Hello everyone, it's Katie here from the Scrappy Sisters, and I'm up with a layout for the Mad About Mini paper pads hop. So this is a hop run by Moira and Crystal, and it is to use our 6x6 papers or anything other than 12x12 really. And to just use them up, or use them, not even use them up, just use them. And so I am creating this layout that's actually, I'm making this layout in February, but it is actually using some supplies that I had pulled in January for my How to Kill a Kit with Style. Well, actually, it wasn't even for my How to Kill a Kit with Style. I had found some tea ephemera, which was the theme for the January How to Kill a Kit with Style, and I knew I had these photos of Addison and I, and it was the morning after a wedding. We went to a wedding that was sort of an hour and 2 hours away from Melbourne, and we'd stayed the night, just the two of us. Well, actually, no, and my mother. She was babysitting. And so we were just sort of walking around the grounds because, of course, I think she was 6 months old at this time, and so she was up a lot earlier than any other guests who had attended the wedding. So we were outside just enjoying the morning and walking around waiting for people to wake up. And so I just took some photos out of front of these purple floral bush, and it was really lovely. And it was just us, and it was in the country, and it was beautiful. And so I knew I wanted to scrap these pictures. And I got like some real like high tea, sort of afternoon tea vibes from these photos. And so this collection, I don't remember what it's called. It might even be called High Tea actually, by Kaiser Craft. And it had pink and green elements. And so I pulled out the pink elements, and I knew I wanted to create this layout. And so I did. And then I decided that, you know what, I'm going to use this for my mini paper pads hop. Because I only use 6x6 papers to back my photos, and I used this pre-made mixed media background by Vicky Booten. And that's it. That's all for paper. Everything else is just ephemera. So I've got teacups and macarons, or macaroons. I don't know. One of them's the coconut, not the coconut one. I don't remember. Anyway, I digress. And one of my focuses for How to Kill a Kit with Style for the month of February, and the theme is vintage, is to try and use my wood veneer. Now, I would actually call this collection a little vintage, and I probably could have used this in my How to Kill a Kit with Style, but because I just use it for January, I didn't want to use it again. This is about as vintagey as I get. So I definitely could have used that. But anyway, I didn't. I'm using the Simple Stories Into the Wild collection, not vintage at all by any any means. It is not vintage. But anyway, that's okay. Wood veneer is what we're focusing on to make our kit vintage. And I do get some wood veneer on this page that I bought years ago and have never used. And it's actually a wood veneer that's covered in cloth. It's strange. I've never seen anything like it since. And it's got this beautiful floral pink pattern. I've also got a blue version as well, but this is the pink version. And I get a teapot and 2 teacups on this page. So I'm super happy with that. As I said, this is very tea themed layout, even though the photos, they don't really have anything to do with tea. But that's okay. We're embracing. And I just think it's a really sweet layout, and they're cute photos, and yeah, I'm very pleased with how it all came together. So make sure you check out the description box down below, because everyone who's playing along in the hop this month will be linked. So we're doing this monthly, Crystal and Moira are doing this monthly, and I think it's the 3rd Saturday of every month. And so obviously people will play along as they can. I don't know if I'll do every month, but at the moment, we're up to month 2. So, I'm doing well so far. I hope to play along every month, but I am not back at work yet. And so once I return to work, we will just have to see how my scrapbooking goes while I adjust to returning to work with the kids. And it's going to be an adjustment, but we'll get there. And I think my scrapbooking will probably take a little bit of a hit while I figure out how that's all going to work. So I'm just popping up some of my teacups here so they can sort of balance half on the photo and half off. So my photos popped up, and because I wanted the ephemera to overlap, I needed to pop up half of my ephemera there. And then I'm adding in some macaroons. Someone will tell me in the comments which one of those is right. And here's my little teapot wood veneer piece, which I accidentally, dropped on the page. And then I dropped it again, and thankfully it didn't drop glue side down on my photo. Anyway, I'm so clumsy. I'm trying to rush, that's why. And then I'm adding a little word phrase that says "so sweet." One at the top that I'm going to work on says Girls' Day, because I thought that was kind of cute. And that's it, really. I don't have much else to say about this layout, except I love these Vicky Bouton pre-made mixed media backgrounds. I've gone on a bit of a kick lately. I've got a lot of them. I've got 3 pads in my collection so far, and I have previously used up one of her pads. So I think I've had every pad that she's released so far, and I've only ever finished one of them. So if you don't know, if you've never had them before, the pads come with a lot of sheets, probably about 36, I'm going to guess. I could be wrong, but she's got 3 sets of each mixed media background. And so what I have tend to have done is I've purchased the pad and then I've given Jess 1 copy of each of them. So I've ended up only with 2 sets of each of the backgrounds, which is good. Like, it's still a lot to use. But I love them so much, so I'm definitely trying to use them as much as I can. And honestly, I love doing mixed media. I really do. But boy, these make it easy. They really do. She's taken all the hard work out of, needing to do mixed media and still getting such a good effect. Now, I had pre-made my title, and I've pulled out some thickers from my stash, and all the title is Addison and Mummy. That's all it says. I couldn't make much with this thicker set, but I wanted to use it because it was nice and small. So that's my title, Addison and Mummy. And then I am going to come in with some black Liquitex ink, acrylic ink, and just use my fan brush to splatter. Now this creates the fan brush. I've got a very small fan brush and it creates a very fine splatter. So if you're someone that doesn't love the big droplets that often the bottles of mist can give you, definitely the Liquitex acrylic ink is a great alternative for misting, and using a small fan brush will give you a very fine splatter. Highly recommend. Very subtle. You can't even probably tell much in the picture, but it's nice and subtle. I do add a lot of it. I probably could have added a little less, but it is hard to stop the kind of overspray when you use a fan brush. So as a result, I tend to put it in more places. I can't be anyway. I find it difficult to be quite localized in my splattering with the fan brush. So that's one other thing to keep in mind. So here we go. Here is my close-up. Make sure you check the description box for everybody playing along, and we'll see you next time. Thanks, guys. Bye.